Welcome to Aktuelt. That was Standing in the Sun from your new album, the Apocalyptic Love.
Very good.
Tell me, after 30 years as a rock and roll star, what's keeping you ticking?
Just, I love what I do, so that keeps me going.
And you really keep going, that particular guitar style of yours.
Well, I'm still trying to, I'm still discovering it. I'm getting better at it as I go, and I'm still exploring with it. So, fortunately, I've got this very fixed kind of idea of what really sounds good, and I've been trying to perfect that,
Let's go back to Guns N' Roses for a little while. I know you don't like to talk about all of it, but it was a pretty amazing band at the time, and you were credited for reinventing rock in a way. You made it more rough. You made it a little bit more edgy. How do you feel about that today?
Very proud of everything that Guns N' Roses accomplished. At that particular time, rock was definitely getting a little soft around the edges in a way, and so I thought we brought back a little bit of attitude to it, and we had a really good time. Those early years were definitely a lot of fun, and we made some great music, and it was all pretty good.
But you really lived the myth of the rock and roll band, didn't you, at the time, with everything that came with it?
Apparently, that's what some people try.
As far as you remember, you would say.
Yeah, I mean, to us, or at least for me, it wasn't about living out any kind of myth. It was just having a good time and being in a rock and roll band and just doing what we do. And I think other people got this whole perception of it being like wild and dangerous and all that kind of stuff.
But it was kind of wild and dangerous. A lot of partying, a lot of booze.
What's so wild about that?
But it was dangerous to you personally, also.
It had its ups and its downs, I suppose. I mean, yeah, we did get pretty close to the edge a few times, but.
But you actually became sick, didn't you? From too much booze?
Yeah, that was after Guns N' Roses.
How did
it was just alcohol poisoning.
Alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
And the doctor
It was
said
a long time ago. Don't make a big drama out of it.
No, we won't make a big drama out of it. But apart from that, you had great fun.
Yeah. Even up to the very last minute.
And you don't want to talk so much about the breakup?
No. It's old news. I think you'd be doing yourself a disservice by getting into that. Yeah.
And you don't want to go back to that time either?
I have other things to do than to be going back and dredging up old stuff. It's, boring.
So right now you're touring with at least 2 other tours. You're touring with Ozzy Osbourne and what else?
And I'm touring with my band on the Apocalyptic Love record. I'm doing 10 shows with Ozzy, so it's not really a full-blown tour, but it's right at the simultaneous as I'm doing my own tour. So
takes a lot of flying.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
It's fun though.
Tell me, by the way, did you know that Justin Bieber, the teen idol, is in Oslo today?
I think I'd have to be blind not to notice that.
He's creating hysteria with young girls.
No, we saw it. We drove by where he's playing at, and there was definitely a scene going on over there.
What do you think of his music?
I'm not really that much aware of his music per se. I'm aware of Justin, and I've met him before, and he and I have been in the same city a couple times at the same time, and it's always an interesting thing. But I can't say that I've really followed his music.
But the fuss he is creating, does it remind you of when you were a younger artist yourself?
No.
Was it the same kind of thing?
Well, I mean, his is definitely a lot younger and a lot more innocent than the kind of crowd
totally
that we
different
attracted.
style.
Yeah.
What are your musical idols these days?
My musical idols are pretty much the same ones that I've always, looked up to. I mean, it's a pretty broad range of musicians. But, you know, guys, the Stones was always a favorite band of mine, and Aerosmith and AC/DC and Led Zeppelin and like all the really great 70s hard rock bands. And then a lot of old blues guys, you know, B.B. King and Albert King and Muddy Waters and all that. And then also bands that came along a little bit later, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and you know, Rage Against the Machine, yeah.
But, I mean, let's face it, you're quite a big idol yourself for many young musicians. How do you like the way the music industry is changing or developing?
Well, I mean, I can't say I really like the way that it's changing, but it's an inevitable change, and so you just sort of, I don't think I've ever really liked the music business anyway.
But you're not a hip-hop man, are you?
No.
No. But your own style, it seems like the guitar sort of never goes out of style.
I think there's a lot of people that might beg to differ on that
one. Really? Yeah. But it always comes back.
Yeah, I mean, it comes and it goes. I mean, I've been doing what it is that I do, you know, ever since I started, and I've never really, you know, sort of changed direction. Guitar, in as of itself, sort of goes in and out of vogue. And you know, I don't even really pay that much attention to the trend. I just sort of do what I do, and that's it.
Do you think you've changed a lot musically yourself?
Not really changed so much. I think I've gotten better. You know, I'd like to think I've gotten better. I don't see myself as really changing. Maybe evolving a little bit, broadening my horizons a little bit, but still sort of sticking to the direction that turned me on when I first picked a guitar up.
Yeah, and you were very young when you picked the guitar up for the first time.
I was 14, 15.
And you lived in an area, a neighborhood where there were a lot of artists and musicians. Was that what made you go into that business?
I did come from more or less a community where there was a lot of music going on, and a lot of people in the record business and so on. But that isn't why I picked up the guitar. I picked up the guitar more or less by chance. But I think that my upbringing had a big influence subconsciously. You know?
It's good to have you here. We're not really a rock and roll program, you know, but we did Bob Dylan's 70th birthday, and we did the 30-year anniversary for the John Lennon shooting.
Oh, I'm in good company then.
So you're in good company. What's up next for you?
I'm touring straight through till December, so that's really what's happening at the forefront of everything at the moment.
And you've been to Norway several times before, and you're coming back.
Yes.
When is your next trip here?
Probably in October.
Well, it was very good talking to you.
To you.
Just one final question. Do you ever take those glasses off?
I do, but whenever there's not bright lights and stuff.
All right. Okay. Thanks very much for talking to us.